Okay, we have to add like terms, so I'm going to underline all the like terms, underline all my x's. I have 1, 2, 3, 4x plus 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 3 is 6, equals 114. Order of operations, so I have to subtract next. Which two are alike? Those two. So I'm going to have to get rid of this one. So subtract 6 from both sides. 4x equals 108. Divide both by 4. You can use your calculator. X equals 27. Okay, but remember I have to identify each of my variables. If the first one's 27, the second one is plus 1, it's 28. The next one is plus 2, by the way, that's a 7. It's 29. The next one is 30. Okay, that's 4 consecutive integers, 27, 28, 29, and 30. Okay. How did you do? Go ahead and go to number 7. I want you to go ahead and stop the tape and do number 7 and then compare it with mine. Okay? Go ahead and stop the tape. Okay, let's check number 7. Number 7 says, Harvey plans to use 5 foot of shelving for 4 shelves whose lengths are to be a series of consecutive even numbers. Okay, 4 shelves that are consecutive even numbers. So the first thing I have to do is identify my variables. Okay, x is the first even number, right? Is the first even number. How am I going to get to the next even number? Okay, if this is an even number, how do I get to the next one? I have to add 2. So x plus 2 is my second even number. X plus, now I'm going to have to add 2 more to get to the next even number, right? So x plus 4 equals my third even number. And x plus 6 equals my fourth even number. Okay? Did you get that far? Okay. How many inches long should each shelf be? He plans to use 5 foot of shelving. So all these need to equal 5 foot of shelving, because that's all I have is 5 foot. Okay, so we have to add all these together. X plus 2 plus x plus 4 plus x plus 6 equals 5 foot. Now, this is 5 foot, but it wants my answer in inches. So I can either change my 5 foot to inches now, or I can do it at the end. I'm going to go ahead and change my 5 foot into inches. Okay? If you'll remember, we do that by 5 foot equals blank inches. Number 1, which one's larger, feet or inches? Well, feet are larger, so I'm going from large to small. Large to small. So I have to multiply. How many inches are in a foot? 12. Okay, so number 3. 12 times 5 equals 60. Okay, so I changed my 5 foot into inches. So over here on equals, I'm going to put equals 60 because it equals 60 inches. Okay, did you remember to convert? Okay, now let's combine all like terms. I'm going to underline all the x's. So let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4x plus 2 plus 4 is 6 plus 6 is 12 equals 60. Okay, next I have to subtract 12 from both sides. 4x equals 10 minus 2 is 8. 5 minus 1 is 4. Okay, divide by 4. X equals, 4 goes into 4 once, 4 goes into 8 twice. So x equals, let me move this over a little bit so you can see this. So my first even integer is 12, plus 2 is 14, plus 4 is 16, I'm just counting by 2's. 12, 14, 16, 18. Did you remember to convert? Be careful with that. You have to make sure that if it asks for inches, you change it to inches. You could have waited and changed it to inches later. Let me see what that would have looked like. Let me do that real fast. Let's do that. Let's leave this at 5. Let's say you left it at 5 feet and you changed inches later. Let's look. 5. Okay, we have 4x equals, I'm sorry, not equals, plus 12 equals 5. I just want to see if this would have worked. Minus 12 minus 12, 4x equals, negatives largest, that'd be minus 7. No, so that wouldn't have worked. You would have had to change it to inches first. Okay? So that way it wouldn't have worked. Alright? Go ahead and go to the next problem. Go to number 8. Go ahead and do number 8 and try it, then compare it with mine, okay? Stop the tape. Oh. Okay, let's look at number 9. The sum of 3 consecutive integers is negative 21. Okay, it says 3 consecutive integers. So x is my first consecutive integer. Consecutive means they're in order. If they're in order, I just add 1, right? So this is my second consecutive integer. X plus 2, this is my third consecutive integer. Okay, are you getting the hang of this? It says the sum. Sum means I add them together. So we have x plus 1 plus x plus 2. I added this plus this plus this. And it says the sum is negative 21. Okay. I listed my variables. I wrote my equation. Let's solve the equation. I'm going to underline all the like terms. 1, 2, 3x plus 1 plus 2 is 3 equals negative 21. Okay, now I have to combine like terms. that one. So I'm going to have to get rid of the 3. Minus 3, minus 3. Those cancel out. 3x equals, my signs are the same, so I add them and keep the sign. So it's negative 24. I divide by 3 equals, multiply or divide if my signs are different. The answer is negative. 24 divided by 3 is 8. Okay? So my first one is negative 8 plus 1 is negative 7, negative 6. Did you get that one? Okay, go ahead and go to number 11. I want you to answer number 11 and then check it with mine. Okay? So go ahead and stop the tape. Okay, let's look at number 11. The larger of two consecutive integers is 7 greater than twice the smaller. Okay, it says consecutive integers. Okay, if x is my first consecutive integer, the second consecutive integer means, consecutive means they're in order, so I just add 1. Okay? Remember, consecutive means they're in order. Okay, now I need my equation. The larger, so which one of these is going to be larger, x or x plus 1? Well, anytime I add 1 to it, it's going to be larger than what I started with. So x plus 1 is the larger one. So it says the larger, x plus 1, that's the larger, is 7 greater, okay, is equals, 7 greater than is going to be plus, twice the smaller. Twice means 2 times the smaller one. Okay? So let's look at this. X is smaller, so I'm going to get rid of the x, subtract x from both sides. These cancel out. Now I have something canceled out over here, so over here is what I need to cancel out. So to cancel out the 7, I'm going to have to subtract it. Now these cancel out. Okay? When I add and subtract, if my signs are different, I subtract and use the sign of the larger number. So it's going to be negative 7 minus 1 is 6 equals, my signs are different, so I subtract and use the sign of the larger number. 2 is positive, so my answer is positive. 2 minus 1 is 1. Okay, so x is negative 6. Okay, negative 6 plus 1. X plus 1 is, I'm sorry, I need to put this so you can understand it. Okay, this says x plus 1, negative 6 plus 1. My signs are different, so I subtract and use the sign of the larger number. 6 is the larger number, and it's negative. 6 minus 1 is 5. So it's negative 6 and negative 5. You're starting to get the hang of this. Go to number 13. Okay, I want you to do number 13. I want you to stop the tape and do number 13, and then watch the tape and compare it with mine. Okay? Go ahead and stop the tape. Okay, let's look at number 13. Find 3 consecutive odd integers. Okay, I'm going to stop there. 3 consecutive odd integers. Okay, if x is my first odd integer, How am I going to find the next odd integer? To get from one odd number to the next odd number, I have to add 2. Okay, so x plus 2 is my second odd integer. How am I going to get to the next odd number? I have to keep adding 2. So instead of plus 2, it's going to be plus 4. This is my third odd integer. Okay? Now I need to do the equation. Find 3 consecutive odd integers such that the sum, okay, sum means I'm going to be adding something. The largest, sum of the largest integer, the largest, which one's the largest? Well, what's going to be larger if you have x or x plus 4? Well, obviously if you add 4. So x plus 4 is my largest, so x plus 4. Now it says the sum of the largest and twice the smallest. Okay, so plus twice the smallest. Twice means 2 times the smallest, which is x, is equals 25. Okay? Okay, here we go. Combine like terms, so I'm going to underline my x's. 1 plus 2 is 3x plus 4 equals 25. Now which ones are the same? These are, so I'm going to have to get rid of this one. It's already plus, so I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides. These cancel out. 3x equals 21. Now divide these by 3. X equals 7. So if my first odd integer is 7, 7 plus 2 is 9. 7 plus 4 is 11. Right? Okay. Go ahead and review this lesson and answer the evens. Remember, you can redo any question that you miss, but you need to do it on paper so I can see your work. Okay? Make sure your heading's on your paper if you're doing corrections. Go ahead and finish this lesson.